Alright, welcome back to Dankscore Traders Hub. Yes, apologies for the delay, but we are back yet for the BTC analysis. If you're with us in the morning for the BTC analysis, I believe for the synthetic index analysis, I believe you had a great time with us as we were analyzing these other assets together with gold. But now it's time for the synthetic indices. It's time for the BTC analysis, where we analyze and see for the whole week what we'll be anticipating, and actually sometimes we look for almost even the whole month, and then we break it down all the way to whether we might get an entry or not on lower time frames. So for now, without wasting more time, let's jump into it and then begin. So please remember to subscribe, remember to share, and of course remember to give us that thumbs up button so that we can grow together. All right, let's start from the weekly. Those who were here on Friday, you know what we analyzed. I told you we are actually going to be seeing BTC continue, but we had an analysis which was to do with pullback to reach there, and then we drop again for more sells. That is what we are looking at. We already saw this kind of a move. What happened there? So we need another move like that, so we can drop down again for more sales. Remember, I told you this year we might actually see sales drop massively to reach even 20 something K, around 28K, all the way back there to that level. So that's what I told you guys. Looking at monthly, this is where we are. There is a fair value gap left there, so price can actually look for this fair value gap. There is no other fair value gap that was never mitigated around this level, like a fair value gap here. Only this one is the one that is not mitigated, so price can actually look for this fair value gap, which is around 28K, around there, 30 to 28K. Price can go all the way down below for actually that liquidity. So looking at a weekly, we are oversold. Look, according to our signal coming from CCI, according to the signal coming from CCI and RSI down below. On last week on Friday, we had seen that price was also oversold on the daily time frame, but now on the weekly, we know that we will look for buys to put us back here. Why? Because this is where we had a change of character. This is where we saw the change of character right there, and then we got a break of structure. Then we got a break of structure right here, a lower low, lower high, and now it's dropping. It has dropped to give us a new lower low. That's why we are over. That's why we are oversold, and that's why price, you can actually see that it came to this very order block right here, and that's why price is now showing us that we need to look for buys according to weekly, according to daily time frame, and of course even H4. But yes, that move is what we need, and I told you on Friday that for me to enter, I need to wait for price to first react to this level. This, I believe, is M15 order block. So let's look at M15. So clearly you see that is the order block right there on M15. That is where I'm anticipating price to come back to before we actually see more before we actually see buys come in strongly. So On Friday we were here, and you can see price started to consolidate within there, did not continue beyond that level. So I wanted a pullback here so that I can enter buys, but it did not happen. So now I can delete this, I can delete that, and we are pushing this all the way to this other end. We are pushing this all the way to this end. So this is our M15 OB. So if we go to H4, we know price is coming here. In fact, we can even go to H1. So we know prices has to come down below to M15 for us to be having a proper entry. Now, looking at H4, this was a break of structure. I mean H1. Looking at H4 now, let's go to H4. We haven't seen yet a break of structure. That is, it's really not that big of a deal according to H4, but clearly the level that we want price to get to before we can start buying is this level, and our buys should be now changing to this very level. That's where we want to make the entry from, so that we can get there according to daily and weekly time frame, and we continue with buys. So why aren't we seeing some sales now? So apparently, according to M15, we see a change of character right here, and that's why the buyers are trying to push for the momentum. So we are not yet ready for the buys, because for the sales. We are not yet ready for this sell move according to H4 and M15, because M15 is not yet ready for the sells. It is still looking for some weird buy move to mitigate that order block. That is the order block after this change of character right here, when it started to sell, to drop down into a downtrend right there. That was a change of character, then dropped, gave us that order block, then got enough momentum to push down below. So we anticipate price to first mitigate that, and then we come in strongly with sales. It can happen today. In fact, it may actually happen today, and then we get in with our sales to drop down to where? To this other level, that we have on M15, where we want to engage buys from. So having seen this on M15, I can as well drop to M5 and see that M5 is actually not ready for the buys. So what do we do here? This move right here is the one that gave me that high, so it can as well look for either a pullback, because this is a change of character, so I can use my fib to anticipate a pullback, and this pullback is likely to be this very level right here, right there, and that would be my pullback move on M5. Then we get in with buys again according to M15. So basically, we've just done a top-down analysis. You already know I didn't repeat a lot about the weekly and monthly, because we've been following it closely. I've been telling you guys that ever since last year in November, October there, that when we hit our all-time high, I told you that we are likely to drop, and then when we broke out of this level, this support trend line there, I told you, since we've broken that, we are likely to drop all the way back down where it all started from. You can see this is where this move started from, and it kept on failing to break this support. This was a fake breakout, but then the rest kept on respecting that support until the end of last year, when price actually gave us a breakout. This was November 2025. Yeah, until that day, that week of 16th, until that week of 16th. That's when price broke out and then consolidated till Jan, and then look at what happened, the crash that happened after Jan 18th. Jan 18th, we dropped massively to get a break of structure again. So right now the anticipation on the higher time frame is pull back there to get a higher low, a lower high, and then later we get even more momentum to drop for a new lower low. I told you when it is in a buy trend, it took long to reach there, but when it is dropping down, it takes almost half the time it took to reach there. You know, so when it is dropping down, you can see the days it took. You can see the days it took, actually the weeks it took from here to reach there, the days it took. But look at the days it has taken to move from there, the weeks to move to reach here. You can see that according to these two rectangles, you will see these are many weeks to get up there, but to move all the way from there to here, it's almost 3 times. It's almost 3 times. You can see there. This is one. Yeah, actually it is 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. What? Almost 3 times the time it took to get up there. This has cut it almost what is it, a quarter? Less than a quarter, I believe so. And that is what we are seeing currently, price dropping massively like nothing. So if you are, I told you guys on Friday that if you are looking at selling, investing in BTC, please don't buy BTC and hold it. No, you rather trade it like we trade right here than you buying and holding. Holding right now doesn't give you anything, unless if you're holding other assets, not BTC. If you're holding these other digital assets, AI digital assets, then probably you may make some money. But BTC, please wait, because we are likely to see it drop down to 20. This will be the best level to actually invest in with BTC. But for now, please don't waste your time on BTC to buy and hold. You rather trade it like how we are doing it. You buy and hold for probably 1 week, 2 weeks, and then you cash out. But holding for the future, you can't buy from here when you know it is dropping down. It's still dropping down. You can't buy and hold your BTC from this level when you know it is still dropping down. Yeah, that is crazy. If you're doing that, if you've already done that, then you're crazy. Unless if you're just going to buy and hold for a week or a month, because this may take a month. This move here to reach there, it may take a month. When we get an entry from this level to hit there, it may take a month or 2 right there to hit there, that level, and then we drop later, depending on the momentum. Like I've told you, when it is dropping, it is faster than when it is rising. You can see the drop from here. It was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. 5 days to hit this very level. 5 days. It took 5 days to hit that level from that level. 5.5 actually, 5.5 days. So moving from here, it may take even several days. You will see that. You can see what happened here when it was doing this consolidation. You can see how many days it took to reach there before it broke out. So having told you this, trade carefully, because we have to we have to make money on this BTC. As traders who trade professionally, we have to make money. Those who are holders, a pity for you if you're still holding BTC. You should have cashed out long time. I pity you guys, I pity you. So right now, my anticipation today, according to the analysis we've just seen, price is getting ready for the buy on M15. Once we have the buy on M15, we'll be ready for the sell on M15 and H4, and then we sell it all the way down below to get to our level of perfect entry, that order block that we saw that was left a few weeks last week. It was left there last week. It was never mitigated. So we need M15 to be ready for the sales. We sell it. Of course, even H4 will be ready by then, and then we drop down for that sell, be ready for the buys, and then we'll be matching with what we need on daily time frame and weekly time frame to start with this very buy move to reach the breaker block right here on that level. I hope now that is very, very clear for you guys. If you're trading BTC, then you know what to do. Like I've told you, M5, we are waiting. We are likely to drop anytime from now. We'll be looking at this very drop on M5. So scalpers, we have some business to do here. If you're a scalper of BTC, we do have business to deal with right here. We do have business to deal with right here. Scalper, you can decide to enter right now and put your stop loss above there, knowing that you'll be risking. Let me see on M1. Yeah, I think you can now. I think you can. Scalpers only. Scalpers. If you're not a scalper, then you may not know how to manage your trade. But if you're a scalper, then you can decide to make the entry knowing that your target is right here. Your target is right here. Knowing that your target is going to be right there. Scalpers. Only scalpers. Alright, so that's it. That's it for today. Hope you guys had a great time. I want to remind you guys that we still have classes to teach trading. So if you want to join any class in this year, every month we hold a class. So if you decide to plan, if you want to plan for any class throughout this year, you can eventually inbox me, and we look at when you want to get into one of our classes this year. Every month, I've told you, we hold a class, 4 weeks for a class. Beginners, intermediate traders, even professional traders who probably want a certain strategy that works for me, still you can inbox, and then we look at how to give you that very strategy to use, or to improve the very strategy that you have, and we look into it a one-on-one. If you want a one-on-one for a professional trader, and you want to look into your own strategy that you already use, probably there are some things you want to handle, and we can look into that, and I give you the schedule on when to do that. We handle that business too. Otherwise, we always have signal groups for these other assets that we trade. We trade the synthetic indices, like you see here. We've already analyzed them early morning. So right now we have no entry yet. We're still waiting for our setups so we can later make the entry. In fact, I see this entry is likely to happen on jump 25. Yeah, but the rest they are still not clear enough. Okay, M15 has happened. I think we are ready for not yet still. So we will be waiting for some of these so that we can make entries. We've already analyzed them today morning, so we are just now waiting when to make the clean entries. Okay, so I see H4, I mean V75. Alright, V75 is already giving us an entry, so the next hour I believe I'll be making my decision on V75. So we already want buys, so we will wait for the entry now. So if you want signals of these other assets, of course you can. First you have to register an account. There's a link in the description below for you to register an account. I use that same account to trade all these other assets that you see down below: BTC, gold or forex, and then the synthetic indices. I use the same account to trade them. Even futures are there. You can see futures. The gold future is here, micro. You can see, so you can trade it. You can trade it also. So that is why I love this account. So you can use the link in the description to register for the account and then be part of the signals group. Subscribe for the signals group and you'll be receiving signals to make money on a daily, Monday to Friday. Most of the times, rarely do I trade on Saturdays, because we know BTC and these synthetic indices, they can run 247. So that's why we can trade it with this broker. You can trade 247 and make money on a daily. Let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. See you next week for the synthetic indices, Monday to Friday, and then for the BTC analysis we'll be back here on Friday next week. But as we wait for next week, look out on this. We are likely to buy it on this level for us who want the entry on M15 to push for that, grab liquidity on that order block, then drop down. If it fails, then it is going to continue breakout and reach that, and then it gets ready for the sell and we sell. You can wait for this move, for the sell move, than looking for the buy move. It is better to wait for the sell move than the buy move, because the signal coming from here is we need to get there and then get ready for that sell. So be ready for that when it happens, so that you can have a perfect entry for the sell on BTC. Have a lovely day, guys. See you. Bye bye.
you.